Let's do a never too early preview for Wisconsin going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Can't wait for this one. I know you can't either. You're a college football sicko. You're watching a preview video for a game that's not going to happen for several months. Get some help. While you're at it, subscribe to the YouTube channel right here. That is, of course, the On3 YouTube channel. This show, The Hard Count, college football content every single day, Christmas, New Year's, everything in between, college football year-round. Want y'all a part of this. Appreciate y'all being subscribed and for being locked in. Game time just came out for this thing, man. 11 a.m. local. Okay, a little sleepy noon Eastern kick for the folks out there in Tuscaloosa, Wisconsin, rolling into town. We'll see what the spread is when this thing actually gets kicked off. If you gave me a spread right now that was in double digits favoring Bama, I wouldn't say you're crazy. But I'll just say it'll be a little bit of a feisty Luke Fickell team. It'll be a little bit of a, like I just said, sleepy kick. We'll see if the folks out there in Bryant-Denny can get dialed up for this one. I'm sure they will. But the story of this game, man, when we do this preview, it comes down to the tempo. It comes down to who's able to control the clock in this game and who's able to force the opposition into playing a style of football game they don't want to play. More specifically here, Wisconsin, they want to shrink this thing, okay? Offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, what he wants to do is run the wide zone. All right, he wants to get outside the tackles. He wants to get downhill. He wants to force your defense to have to routinely play downhill at the second and third level. And that's great. You can do that for a quarter or two. But if Wisconsin gets to hang around, which is a big if, but if Wisconsin hangs around and that scrappy Luke Fickell football team is able to get to the third quarter, you're asking those safeties and those linebackers to once again have to fill on what they're doing in that run game, which a run game that, again, does a great job of compensating for the talent advantage that Alabama will have in this football game because you're not asking for pancake blocks. You're asking for guys just to create gaps, to put it simply. I'm just curious the stamina from Bama in this spot. Not giving you a pick right now. We'll give you a lean a little bit later in this video, but it's not going to be an easy task, all right? So how much is Wisconsin able to shrink the game and keep Ty Simpson, Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, who's ever on the sideline for Bama playing quarterback? Are they on the sideline watching this thing while Wisconsin puts a drive together that's 10 plays and takes up 8 minutes of game time? Remains to be seen. But that's how they want to play this football game, right? Low scoring, rock fight, boring, would favor how Wisconsin wants to play. Now, Alabama, I want to push you into a spot if you're Wisconsin where you got to start chasing them. If Alabama gets up 17-0, get the Uber ride, right? Just you can watch the rest of this game at Rammer Jammers. You can watch it at home. Wherever you want to watch this thing, you can watch it from the comfort of some air conditioning because I bet it'll be pretty hot for that noon kick. The bottom line, once Bama gets leverage on Wisconsin, as much as I like Billy Edwards, as much as I like Jaden Ballard, Wisconsin wide receiver who transferred in from Ohio State, that's going to be game, set, match for Alabama. Like I just told you, I think the spread will be close to, if not double digits, favoring the Tide by game time because the talent advantage is so great for Alabama. So the battle that I think will dictate this entire thing for Wisconsin is their secondary with Alabama's receiving core. Now, we have been extremely high on what Alabama has in that room. We name a lot of names. I'll do it again. Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, probably the three that you need to know most specifically if you're not an Alabama fan, just to keep tabs on. But Wisconsin, they bring back 4 of 5 starters in the secondary. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll see if it means anything or not, but that's going to be the battle that determines if Alabama is able to put the pedal to the metal and leave Wisconsin grasping at straws, or gasping for air, I suppose, as this thing rolls on. So really what it comes down to is I don't think it's novel to say that Bama is the better football team on paper, more talented. It comes down to 2 things. One, do you have a quarterback, which we say a lot for Bama, do you have a quarterback at this point in the year, not just do you have a quarterback you've decided on, do you have a quarterback you feel truly confident in, to where you feel good about Ty Simpson pushing downfield, or Austin Mack, or Keelan Russell? I think it'll be Ty Simpson. Do you feel good enough to hand them the keys and say, let it rip? We're opening it up. We trust you to make good decisions downfield. Let's roll. Let's run a true Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb kind of offense. Because if you do and you score points, what I just said, this thing is going to get pretty uncomfortable for the Wisconsin faithful that made the trip out there pretty quickly. The second thing that it comes down to for me, though, is Alabama's composure. That was the thing that we were I think, surprised by for a lot of us a year ago. Bama didn't look very Bama-ish in the spots that they lost. Like, I would say of Alabama's 3 losses, only one of those teams in Tennessee had a roster that was somewhat comparable to what they had on the field. Like, Vandy wasn't a better football team than Alabama, talent-wise. Oklahoma, like Brent Venables, they weren't a better football team than Alabama. Alabama lost those games because they lost composure, didn't show up ready to play. Do we see that in this spot? Whoa, hitting the microphone over here. Do we see that in this spot? Because for Alabama now, they will have opened with Florida State. Feel pretty good about their chances there. They will then have Georgia after this game. They have a gimme in between, but they'll play Georgia after this game at Georgia. So what does that tell us? Got to guard against the look-ahead spot. Got to be locked in. Got to come ready to play. Everything I said. 11 a.m. local, a little bit muggy. Just played a gimme. Got Wisconsin rolling into town, a team that you beat the doors off of at their place a year ago. Can you get locked in? Can you get up for this game? And can you play your style of game regardless of who's on the other sideline? The best teams in college football, but in sports in general, they don't worry about the opponent. Like John Wooden, to go on a tangent here, John Wooden, arguably the greatest coach of any sport, won 1 million national championships at UCLA. The scouting report for his basketball team, I believe, was like semi-non-existent. There are stories of assistant coaches having to go down to the newspaper stand in the hotel to find out who they were playing that day. Why? Because it didn't matter who they were playing. John Wooden wasn't worried about it. It was about their football team. Now, Bama will probably be scouting Wisconsin ahead of this thing, so we'll make sure that's clear. But does Bama care that Wisconsin's who they're playing? Could it be the Kansas City Chiefs? Could it be Wisconsin? Could it be the Mighty Might team from Tuscaloosa? Does it matter? Is Bama going to play Bama's brand of football? If they do, I think they'll be able to handle business. If they don't, we've seen what can happen. Now, my lean right now, in case you haven't noticed, is very strongly towards Bama. I think if Bama plays their style of game, they should be in a good spot. But a lot of that will come down to, do you have a quarterback that can maximize the offense? Do you have a defense that's down to crack skulls for 4 quarters against this wide zone offense of Jeff Grimes in Wisconsin? And can you apply the pressure to Wisconsin to make them match you with scores? Wisconsin's not built to chase, and if Bama can put them into chase mode, it'll be a wrap pretty quickly. But you know what? We did this preview. We did this very early breakdown. It's all on a piece of paper. They still got to play the games. So for that piece of paper, for us here on this show, The Hard Count, for Cato on the ones and twos, myself, JD PicKell, make sure you're subscribed. Give us your pick in this game. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.